Hey guys, this is Ankit and welcome to the Google Cloud Platform Task Series. We'll do a list of basic tasks to get ourselves familiar with the Google Cloud provider, that is GCP. We are following DevOps Engineer and SRE learning path, also available at cloudskillsboost.google/paths. In this particular task, we will also use one repository, hello logging nodejs.get, written by GitHub user Mr. Hagman. You can always get more details about any task by going to the repository thecloudterminal01/learn-devops. In today's task, we have the following objectives. First, we will set up a VM and GKE cluster. We will install and use the logging and monitoring agents for the compute engine. We will deploy a Node.js app to GKE and expose it via load balancer service type. Finally, we will examine the collected metrics in the metrics explorer. The total amount of time we'll be spending will be around 13 to 15 minutes. So let's begin. Let's start with the first task. We will create a VM with this name. Let's go to compute engine, VM instances. Create instance. We'll give the instance name as this. Let's use the boot disk image and we'll choose this one. Select. Let's allow HTTP traffic and create. The instance is created and I have also logged in into the instance. Now let's run a bunch of commands. First we will run apt-get update and then install nginx. So we have nginx version 1.14.2. Now we'll be setting up logging and monitoring agent in this instance. In order to do that, we need to make sure whether we have requisite scopes to perform monitoring and logging. In order to verify that, let's run this command. So as you can see, we have logging.write and monitoring.write scopes. Now let's add monitoring agent repo to apt and install the agent. After that, we'll start the monitoring agent. The agent is running. Now let's install the logging agent. Let's check the status. It's running as well. Let's check the status of the other agent, which is also running. Now let's enable the status information handler in nginx by adding a configuration file to the nginx configuration directory. Let's reload nginx service. We will enable the nginx monitoring plugin. Let's restart the monitoring agent. Now let's create a Kubernetes cluster. Let's use the standard one. We'll give the name as GKE cluster. Let's keep everything as default and click on create. Let's wait for the cluster to be up and running. Our Kubernetes cluster is ready as well now. Now let's go to monitoring and check which all metrics can we collect. So I'll go to Metrics Explorer. We'll select a metric. Let's select VM instances, instance, CPU utilization, click on apply. Let's add a filter. We'll give instance name. Value will be our web server VM. Click on done. So this is our CPU utilization graph for our Nginx instance VM. Before we see the Nginx request graph in the Metrics Explorer, let's go back and add some load, that is traffic, to our instance. So I'll go back to VM instances. Let's keep this saved for now. Let's copy the public IP. So our Nginx instance is ready. I'll copy this URL, come back over here. Let's add this value and set the environment variable. We'll go back and add some load to our instance. So we are seeing the welcome to Nginx page. Now we'll go to a Metrics Explorer and check out the requests metric for Nginx. Let's go back to Metrics Explorer and we will select a metric. Specifically, we will search for requests. Go to VM instances, Nginx, and requests. Click on apply. And here you should see the request count, which has heavily increased. You can change the chart type to stacked bar chart. And over here as well, you will see that the request count has increased. Now let's add a service to our GKE cluster and examine its logs and matrices. So first we'll enable the Cloud Build API. So I'll go back to VM instances and let's start a Cloud Shell. So the Cloud Shell is ready. Let's enable the Cloud Build API. Now we'll clone this repository, hello logging nodejs.get. You can go and check out this repository yourself and browse through the code. We will now move to hello logging node.js directory and let's submit a build to Google Cloud Build. So the build is completed. Let's move to container registry and see whether our image was uploaded or not. So our image was uploaded as well. Let's move to the dashboard page and copy our project ID. Now let's open the KTS app YAML file and we will change this with the project ID. Let's move to the Kubernetes clusters. We'll copy the connection string command. Let's connect to the cluster. We are connected. Let's apply KTS app.yaml file. Let's wait for the pods to be up and for the load balancer public IP to be created. Our pods are up and also the public IP is created. Let's copy this public IP over here and let's visit. We are able to see the hello world page, which means everything is working as expected. Let's copy this URL. And set the URL environment variable to the same. And now let's add some traffic. We'll wait for 1 to 2 minutes for this to be reflected in the metrics explorer. It's been a while since we started the traffic. Now let's go back to monitoring and move to dashboards. Let's check out the GKE dashboard. We can enable auto refresh and we can enable spark lines as well. Let's click on apply. We can check the workloads tab in details as well. So I'll click on view all. So this is the workload on our Kubernetes cluster. Let's go back. Let's check the Kubernetes services tab. We can check any service in particular as well. So I'll click on this. And we can get detailed metrics over here as well. That's it for today's video. See you in the next one.